So the question becomes, can PTZ cameras learn? Can they be taught to do something and then repeat that same thing over and over and over and over and over again without making a mistake ever? We're going to find out on today's show. So hang around, be right back, and we'll be starting in about 10 minutes. Yeah, coming right up.
We're the streaming idiots, having the time. With Tom Sinclair guiding, we're feeling so fine. A vMix on the screen, we're ready to play. Custom built PCs, taking tech to the fray. Making live production feel like a breeze. Got the rhythm pumping, we do it with ease. From setups to transitions, we're flying high. In the world of streaming, we're touching the sky. Streaming idiots, we're living the dream. With tech support in the mix, we're a winning team. Tom Sinclair's a man, bringing us live in our biggest adventure. The future is bright. Lights, camera, action, the stage is set. From podcasts to webinars, we're never upset. Tech at our fingertips, the power so real. Loading up the content, let the viewers feel. Building connections, we're breaking the mold. Every frame a story, every tale told. In this vibrant world, we're living with flair. Streaming idiots unite, let's take it from here. Streaming idiots, streaming idiots. We're living the dream, living the dream. We take support in the mix. Oh, we're a winning team. Tom Sinclair's a man, bringing us live in our biggest adventure. The future is bright. We got tips and tricks all wrapped in a show. And our extra fun, let the good times flow. From sports to the arts, we're taking the lead. With vMix by our side, there's nothing we need. Troubleshooting smoothly, no hassle or fuss. In the world of tech, we're igniting the buzz. Streaming idiots, we're living the dream. With support in the mix, we're a winning team. Tom Sinclair's a man, bringing us live in our biggest adventure. The future is bright. So here's to the journey. Let's raise a toast for Tom Sinclair and the team we love most. Streaming idiots, forever we're ruling the scene. With vMix and support, here living the dream. We're the streaming idiots, having the time. With Tom Sinclair guiding, we're feeling so fine. A vMix on the screen, we're ready to play. Custom built PCs, taking tech to the fray. Making live production feel like a breeze. Got the rhythm pumping, we do it with ease. From setups to transitions, we're flying high. In the world of streaming, we're touching the sky. Streaming idiots, we're living the dream. With tech support in the mix, we're a winning team. Tom Sinclair's a man, bringing us live in our biggest adventure. The future is bright. Lights, camera, action, the stage is set. From podcasts to webinars, we're never upset. Tech at our fingertips, the power so real. Loading up the content, let the viewers feel. Building connections, we're breaking the mold. Every frame a story, every tale told. In this vibrant world, we're living with flair. Streaming idiots unite, let's take it from here. Streaming idiots.
All right, let's see. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Is that good? That good? Yep. There we go. There we go. Camera. Yep. That's good. Don't have to stand it. Sit up that straight. Okay. Streaming good. Looks like we are. Stream health. Let's see what the stream health is here in YouTube. Is excellent. I would expect no bad. We're using the AV1 codec in vMix so that we can stream to YouTube at half the bit rate that we would normally do. You got questions about that? Holler with them. Let's see. Yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day. John, they were having trouble streaming to YouTube. They were streaming to YouTube, but they were streaming to Restream. And they were streaming 1080p 60. And Restream was receiving 720 30. They're like, oh, yeah, there's a problem there. I mean, that wasn't their problem, but that was a problem. And I said, you know, use the AV1 codec and go straight to YouTube for half the bit rate. Oh, and he was streaming 1080p 60 at 6 megabits per second, maybe. Anyway, and he was dropping frames. I think that's what that was. He was dropping frames, and then the stream would fall out. And the most recent call I had on that, it was just their PC just wasn't set up right. Yeah, but you know, if you've got that problem, let's have a call tomorrow, and I can remote in and look over your shoulder and see what's going on. Or it may be that YouTube just doesn't like you anymore. I find that hard to believe. Hard to believe. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. You might notice that vMix 29.0.0.46 is still the latest. It's been out for about 10 days, and not a lot of changes. But you never know when Martin Sinclair, the developer of vMix, you never know when he decides to make some tweaks under the hood just to improve the overall performance. A little faster, a little smoother, a little smaller, a little better. So I would encourage you to stay up to date. I would. And especially if you've got it, like, I'm not just talking about the .46 version, I'm talking about the 29. If you're on 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, reach into the wallet for $60 and update, not upgrade, update to vMix 29. There's some good stuff there. And you know, it's funny, vMix 29 has been out, what, since November, December? And the stuff that I'm using that I wasn't using before, I've forgotten what it is because I'm using, oh, I know one of them is, we've got 8 overlay channels. I'm looking at, somebody asked me the other day, asked me yesterday. They said, I used to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What happened? I said, did you update? Well, yeah. I'm like, well, that's what it was. I know the other thing I ran into last week, or maybe it was Monday, you know, it's hard, all the days run together, is that somebody was running vMix on one PC and then running vMix desktop capture on a second PC. And if you install vMix on a PC, and let me see if I can bring it up here. I'm going to go down here to programs. And oh, no, can I do that? Let's just try. Let's go down here to vMix, and we're going to look at desktop capture NDI, and we'll bring it up, and here it is right here. And you can see this is 29.0.0.2. Okay, well, that's good. And then we can bring up, let's go here. This is vMix. Let's go back to the website right here, and we'll go to the download free trial right there, and we'll scroll down here and download vMix desktop capture, and we see that's 23.0.0.4. And what did I have? Oh, heck, let's bring it up again. Sit tight 1 second. You'd think I'd put this up where I could get to it more easily. like I was knowing what I was doing or something like that. Yeah, there we go. So that is 29.0.0.2, but available on the website is 23.0.0.4. So, and they were having trouble. They couldn't get things from their remote PC. They couldn't do a desktop capture. And so so we just used the OMT version, and that worked perfectly. Because I knew the OMT would be the latest, greatest on the website and on the install. The problem was their second system, they weren't installing vMix. They were just using the desktop capture. So anyway, that was why that was what it was. Yep. Hello, Rick. Glad you're here. Pico Kit. All right. All right. Let's put that one up there. It's always nice to have people say nice things about me. I cannot say enough positive things about my streaming idiot friend Thomas Sinclair. He spent more than 30 minutes yesterday helping with live stream of new Osbot 4K webcams on vMix. Ken, yeah, I remote. No, I didn't remote in. Ken was doing a stream. That's what it was. Hey, Tim, welcome Chesapeake Bay, Virginia, or Chesapeake, Virginia. We have a little family home in Red Art, which is near Matthews. So I know the area. Yes, indeed. Love that area. So Ken, I'm going to tell this story. You know I am. So Ken's trying to get it to stream, and he had some frame rate problems and all sorts of other things. And we tuned up his vMix. He was way out of tune. And so he's doing this live stream. And, you know, when you're working from home, you're dressed comfortably. And, you know, but because nobody's there. And if you're taking a call, you're taking a call. And even if you're taking a Zoom call, you know, it's just torso and head. Well, Ken's doing this live stream to check and make sure everything works. And he's talking to me on the phone, and he just gets up and starts walking away. Oh, he was not wearing a stitch below his waist. It was an exciting live stream for some people, not me, but for some people, I'm sure it was. Anyway, word to the wise, be careful about that. Be careful about doing a test stream, you know? Don't want to catch yourself or anybody else. It's like, what was it, the pastor that had the wireless mic and had to zip off to the little boys' room before the service, forgot to turn off his mic, and there were tinkling sounds throughout the sanctuary. Yep. So there you go. So Ken, thank you, my friend. I love telling that story, and I will tell it again. Yes, I will. Well, let's get the show on the road. We can't sit around here all day like a bunch of people that don't have anything better to do. Can we? Do we? Must we? We must. Here we go. Gotcha. So that's my story about Ken. Ken says, Tom, the courtroom live stream looks terrific today. Got to go. Talk to you later. See you later, Ken. Glad to have you. Ken and I go way back. We go way back. And he only lives 2-3 hours from here. Actually, probably only 2. Yeah. He's on the Florida side. So today is, can we teach PTZ cameras to do stuff, and will they remember it? Well, the short answer is no. They won't remember it, at least not the ones that I'm working with. I hear there's some out there that will, or that maybe there's some keyboards out there that will remember the keystrokes or whatever. But I think there's a way we can do that in vMix. And so I played with it a little bit yesterday to know that part of it will work. And this was spurred from the vMix Fun Time live show from last week, where they basically did a very slow pull in, a very slow zoom on Heath. And it was very slow and very gradual and very nice, and it was really cool. And then they zoomed back out, and it was a way of adding visual interest to a talking head in that case, which I thought, oh, that's good. But what if you could do that, and you could couple that through triggers or shortcuts or something with actually following something and not really following it, but knowing how it's going to move in advance and programming the camera to move the same way. And then when you get where you're going, do something else. So I have a whiteboard. And in the whiteboard, I'm going to illustrate what I mean. Okay, let's get that cursor out of the way. Let's go back to the blue brush. Let's get this out of the way here. And what we're going to do is we're going to start out with a person. Let me get this whiteboard where I can reach it. There we go. We're going to start out with a person. And this is going to be our person. I know. I used to be an artist for money. So we're going to have a person, and then we're going to take a zoom, and we're going to see a close-up of that person. All right? You with me so far? So we're going to do that, and then we're going to go to movement. And I don't know what the official signs for panning is, but this is a pan. And we're panning this figure right here. We're panning him because he's moving. Once he gets where he's oh, no, I forgot a spot. Let me back up. Let's go back up here. Here we go. So we're gonna zoom in on him, and this won't be a camera zoom. This will actually be a digital zoom, because it's going to be so soft. And then we're going to go back out to the full-size person, and then we're going to pan as the person moves. They're going to get where they're going, and then we're going to zoom in on them again. And I'm thinking that we might do this in, there probably would be some sporting events where this might work. You have to know the action in advance. That's the thing. But if there's something you can imagine in a, you could do it in a talk show. You could definitely do it in a talk show when you're introducing a speaker or something like that. I don't know. That's not a good example. The example I thought of last night that I was going to try to set up for today, and then I realized it was a bridge too far, was to set up a PTZ camera outside and have it pointing down the way at the road. There's a roundabout down there. And as cars come through the roundabout and they turn up the road that runs in front of my studio, I could catch them right here, zoom into them, zoom out just to prove that, and then follow them as they rode up the road, and then zoom in on them as they were tailing away. The speed limit gives a pretty much a solid flow. People don't zoom out, high speed. Occasionally you do, and occasionally you have somebody that's real slow, but if you catch somebody at about the speed limit, I bet you could do all that. Now, what's the real world application? I don't know. I just want to prove it can be done. There may be something in a church environment where, let's say, we're going to do maybe an Anglican or an Episcopal church where there is a baptismal font, and where somebody's preaching and then they're walking down to the font, and you could pre-program those movements. And it doesn't really matter what the movements are. We're just going to use this diagram right up here to program it. So you got in mind we've got, and we're going to do it with me. So I know that'll be thrilling. Hey, Jasper, glad you're here. I really am. So we're going to start out with the zoom. Let's go here. We want a 4. That's good. We're going to go 1, 2. Get that out of the way. 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe. We'll start with the easy part first. That's going to be the zoom. Let's see. Let's get this labeled. This is our pan. And this is a zoom in and a zoom out. And then a zoom in a different location. Yeah, okay, so let's set that aside. We'll come back to it as we need to. So let's go here. And what I want to do, first of all, is to start with this. I am that stick figure. And we're going to do a very slow zoom on me. And we're going to use the merge for that. And let's just set it up with a merge at first. And then we'll go ahead and figure out how to do that in a shortcut. So let's go here. There we are. And this is my, that's not my camera actually. Let's go right here. There we go. This is my camera right here. So we're going to go into the settings for the camera. And we'll go to PTZ. And let's see, let's take out number 80 so we don't confuse anything. Yeah, you can see my white screen right there. Okay, so let's go here. And we are connected to the, and by the way, I'm using a PTZ Optics Move 4K, the 12X version, which is great for studio. Love it in the studio. I love a PTZ camera in the studio. I just, especially for a one-man studio. All right, so let's get, we want to have a second shot. Actually, we need to have a first shot. So let's make a shot of this. This is our kind of our base shot right here, number 86. And if I drag it down, you see there's an 86 right there. That is me. It's not moving at the moment because we haven't really finished it. And then I want to take that shot and I want to zoom it in. So let's zoom it in to about there. And then we need to adjust it up to there. Yeah, so we're going to make another input right there. Very good. All right. Japs Production says, I do this exact thing in a live scenario streaming go-kart. There you go. There you go. That's exactly right. That's not everybody's doing go-kart, but I bet you can find the applications. Okay, so we've got 2 different inputs down here. One is me at a distance, and one is me up close. And let's go ahead and put me at a distance back into the preview. All right. And yeah, and what I'm going to do, I want to go ahead and put me up close, number 87 down here, into preview and move number 27. I want to move the camera right here. Well, I can go ahead and do that right now. Yep, so the camera is right there. I'm going to move that into output, and then I'm going to put 87, the close-up version, down here into preview, and then I'm just going to do a merge between them. But before I do that, let's take the merge and let's give it a long duration, like 10,000 milliseconds. Well, 9,999. That's 10 seconds. 10 seconds. All right, so let's put, we're going to put me in output. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Now it's going to take 10 seconds to put me in output. That was stupid. Okay, well, we're almost done. There we go. There we go. Okay, and now let's put the remote me. Oh, I can't put the remote me in preview because if I do, it will. If I put the remote me in preview, it'll move the camera. Well, let me just do that and I'll show you. So yeah, so that didn't work. So let's get that out. Let's go back here to this one. There we go. How can we do that? Can we use a shortcut? Can we use a shortcut to do that? Let's get the desktop capture back up here. And let's go add a shortcut. Did you know there's a shortcut to get to shortcuts? Right down here in the bottom of the screen, the little, what looks like the Microsoft flag. That will take you into shortcuts. This is the back way in. There you go. And we're going to add a shortcut. We're going to call it A. That's a good one to start with. And the function is going to be merge. I think we can do it this way. We'll merge. Yeah, there we go. There's merge. And the input is going to be, there we go. Now we're talking. We're going to do, what input do we want? Well, we want this one right here. What is that one? Oh, we got to go find out what it is. It's 87. All right. So back in the back door, I'm looking around my surface over here. So let's add A. It's going to be a merge. So we'll select merge, and it's going to be on number 87. Oops, went past it. Here we go, 87. And we're not going to have it show anywhere. We'll take it out later. So we've got the key A is going to be a merge to number 87. Okay, okay. And we've got merge set for 9,999. Okay, so let's get this set up again. And I'm going to put me in output, and then I'm going to put number, oh, I don't have to worry about that at all. I'm just going to put me in output, then I'm going to hit the A key. Let's see what happens. Didn't work. Didn't work. What if, let's go back here, like this. What if I did this? Nothing happens. That's okay. But it's going to take 10 seconds for whatever it is to finish, all right? So what I've got to do is I've got to get this number 87 active somehow without putting it in preview, because if I put it in preview, it's going to change the camera position. What am I doing wrong? Help me out here. We've got PTZ. Oh, that one doesn't have any PTZ movements. 86 and 87, it's 27 that we want to look at. So 27 has got two inputs, 86 and 87. And 86 is just the regular shot. Boy, is that pixelated. And 87 is a zoomed in shot. And that's kind of pixelated, but that's okay. It tells us what we needed to see. Well, let's see. Let's put 86 there. We'll cut that. If we do that, then it zooms in. We do that, it zooms out. And then what if I do A at this point? Nope, same thing happens. You know, it's funny because I did this yesterday and it worked beautifully. Oh, I know what I did yesterday that was different. Let's go back here. All right, let's get rid of let's get rid of 87 and 86 for a second. And let's go into, let's create a virtual input of this one. Can we do that? Does that make a difference? We go into the settings, don't have any PTZ controls. Let's see. Well, we do. All right. All right. Let's go back here to 27. Bear with me. 27 is, we're just going to zoom out. Yep, and zoom down and pan down a little bit. Tilt down, sorry. All right, and that is where this one is. So that's going to be a copy of it. That's not going to work. Oh, use source settings. Let's don't use source settings. Will that give us the ability to pan individually? Not really. I mean, zoom. We zoom on one, we zoom on both, right? Yeah, both of these are the same. So that's not going to work. What did I do yesterday? Let's go back and look at our shortcut. See if maybe I missed something there in the shortcut. Find A, down there at the bottom, merge. Could we change the duration? Duration to 99.99. Will that work? That's for number 87, which no longer exists. Let's make an 87. All right, so let's come back here. Let's start again. Here we go. So we're going to take out that one. Let's move this one back to his position right there. This is the stick figure with all his hands and legs, but I don't really. So we're going to create an input there. That's going to be kind of our base. And then we're going to zoom in and pan up, and we'll create another one here. Boom. All right. And now let's put 86 in output and try A. Doesn't do it. 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 What else? What are we doing wrong here? Let's try something else. Let's take 87 out, and we'll make, no, that's not going to work either. Now I'm buffaloed, and you guys are being no help whatsoever. All right, so we've got this shot, and we've got this shot, which is the same shot. No, it's not the same shot. What if we just did a merge here? What happens then? Nothing. Nothing, because it's the same shot. All right. What if we, oh, that's the away shot. Okay. So let's do the zoom shot. Got the zoom shot. Got it. Okay. And we've got, let's just play for a second. All right, so that's got that one in output. Put that one in input. And then do a cut. And then do a merge. No. No. That's not going to do it either. There we go. All right, so we'll go back. And then we'll try an A merge. That's not doing it either. That's not doing it either. Let's see. what are we missing here? Let's go back to our shortcuts. And we'll find A. And here's A. It's a merge to number 87. Duration. Mix, title, description. Just default. None of that is helpful. Are there any other merge options besides merge? If we go to all and we say merge, do we get other options on merge? Nope. Here we go, merge. Well, I'm buffaloed. I'm forgetting something. Well, when in doubt, cheat. Let's cheat. All right, so let's go here for a second. And let's go here. And let's bring, yeah, there we go. So let's bring that in for a second. And let's go to vMix. And let's do Fun Time Live Show. We'll get their latest Fun Time Live shows. Playlist, July, January. That's the one. Is that the one we want? Yes. And we're going to just mute them. And using the Ozbot, real-time push. That's what we want. That's what it is right there. Let's hear what they have to say.
Yes. Or if we want to talk about something, just very calming and, we can just have a nice slow zoom in, It's been a good week, don't you think? It really has.
I find that I spend most of my time like watching YouTube videos and watching the corners of a desk to see the incremental zoom in.
Oh, yeah.
It's like nobody has static shots anymore.
No.
It's at a 0.001% zoom over 20 seconds. It's just crazy.
It's what we all go for these days, except for us.
We do it occasionally.
Well, it's harder to do in live workplace.
I mean, live, yeah, but like with tutorials and things like that.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be showing information, whereas most of the YouTube videos you look at is talking heads, so there has to be some kind of motion.
Give it a little bit.
I do love the fake camera movement as well. It's always good.
Always good. Quite a while.
All right, let's move on to the next category. That's not it. Q&R, how to do a RTPI, real-time push-in.
Yes,
push in info, please. Yeah, okay. So all I'm doing there, actually I can demonstrate this really fast. And apologies for those that know how it works already. Okay, so going back to this, I'll just get rid of the ones that are a bit confusing. So let's simplify this. Let's start with our camera here. I'm right-clicking on settings. I'm creating a virtual input. And from there, now I've got a virtual copy of input 1. From there, I can go to the settings and I can manipulate it. So I can go to its position and I can just zoom it a little bit like that. And maybe move it over a little bit or whatever.
Okay, that's it right there. That's it right there. So let's get out of this. Take out that. We're going to go back to this. We're going to create a virtual input. We'll go into the virtual input and we won't use PTZ. We're going to use position and we'll zoom in. Oops, that's number 4. Let's go to the main. And we'll zoom in a little bit and we'll drag it down. Now we're talking. All right, so this guy is going to go here. This guy's going to go there. And now we're going to go with an active merge. All right, good. Now we're here. And then we want to do exactly the other direction. So we want to just do a merge in the other direction and get it to pull back out. Michael Quest, good to see you. Glad to have you. All right. So I think let's go back to the desktop capture. So we've got these two inputs. We've got the camera and we've got the virtual camera. And then I think we want to make another virtual camera that'll give us our wide shot, our tight shot, back to the wide shot. And then we can have another shot. Let's make another virtual input over here. No, let's don't do that yet. All right, so we're going to go 27, 86, 87, and then we want to pan. So we would set up probably some triggers on this. Triggers. Let's go into 27, look at triggers. We don't have any triggers. So we're going to say on transition in, merge, there's merge right there, to number 86, to 86. Can we just leave it like that? Let's add that one. On transition in are not permitted to start transitions. This may cause infinite loops. Well, what if I want an infinite loop? Well, what if I set number 86 up as an output? Is that going to make it? Outputs. Output number 2 is going to be input 86. Okay. And where did output 2 end up? Oh, we can't see it. Can we? No. All right, so we want an input that's an output. Nope. I think you have to get to it by here. Let's see. Output, there we go. A maximum of one output of this type can be added at a time. I think I must already have someone somewhere else, so we're not going to do that. So we can't use a trigger, huh? Can we use a trigger to can we use it? All right. What about a countdown? Can we use a countdown to do this? Merge to. We're going to get another. Where's our output? Oh, yeah, that's right. So it's probably at the top of the list. Active, preview, main shot. No. So we can't use an output. Can we use a dynamic? Okay, I'm getting buffaloed here. We could use a series of shortcuts. Let's go back to our shortcut and see. Find A. A is going to merge with the virtual 86. Is that the last one? 86? Yep. Okay, so let's see how that does. So we'll go A. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So we could do that. And then we could set up a B, but then it's not automated. So we want to, so on B, we want to go from 86 to 87. Let's just try that. Well, yeah. B. No, we don't want to find B. We want to add B. B. Function is a merge. And we want to go to 87. Okay. So B is going to take us, nope, didn't take us there. What did I do wrong? What did I do? We went from 6 to 7, right? All the way down at the bottom here. Oh, because we need to set up the time. There we go. Let's try again. Let's go back here and do a B merge. Yeah, okay, so we've got a B merge. And hello, Otis, glad you're here. Late to the party. Don't like that. Don't like you late to the party. And now we need a, so we've got an A merge. That's nice. That's nice. That's when I want to make a point and I want to speak softly. And then we've got a B merge, which is going to go the other direction. Maybe I didn't give it a chance to. There we go. So we got the B merge. Oh, Michael Quest. A short script, which merges the inputs. The script could maybe be activated from the trigger. There you go. I'm not a script guy, so I have to get all this stuff down, and then maybe I can copy a script. But I like the idea, Michael. I've written some scripts. It's been a long time, but I think they were mostly copied and, you know, substituted different variables. Let's try one more of these. Let's try, we're going to go, let's see, so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to go into this last one and say, on transition in, we are going to pan left, PTZ, pan, focus, move up left, move left, move left. There we go. We're going to move left. And it's going to be on number 80, what is that right there, 87? Nope, it's got to be 27, because that is the camera. 27, speed 0 to 1. Ooh. Well, let's do 0 and see what happens. And we're going to have this happen after 10 seconds. Let's try it. On transition in, PTZ move left. Okay, and we need to make a shortcut to make the PTZ stop, because otherwise it'll keep moving left forever. And let's make the space bar our stop key just in case. Function is PTZ move stop. Right there, move stop. Input is going to be 27. Okay, okay. So now, let's go back to 86. We'll do B to zoom out on this one. And after 10 seconds, it should pan to the left. Maybe. There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. And then we want it to stop. Ooh, that was not a comfortable stop. Let's go back. Can we go back here? Nope. We're not going to get the PTZ to go back where it came from. Oops. All right. So let's go back to this guy and look up triggers. Move left, and so it's going to be, we'll do the same thing on transition in. We'll give it a 5-second move. Oh, after 10 seconds, it's going to move. That's right. And then it's going to be PTZ move stop on number 27. Delay of 5,000. Add. Okay. All right, so let's go back to the beginning here. We've got 86. Can we go back here? Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, so we're there, and we're going to do an A to zoom in. There we go. And then we're going to do a B to zoom out. Nope. Something happened there. Let's go back to A. Nope, now we're going to do a pan and a zoom at the same time. How about that? Okay. Not exactly what I had in mind, but I think we're getting somewhere. Let's create a permanent position here so we can always go back to it. All right, so we're on 27 here. We're going to A, zoom in. Okay, we're good there. We're going to B, zoom out. Yep. And then it's going to pan. And then it's going to stop. All right. So let's let it pan a little bit longer. That is a shortcut on 87. I mean, a trigger on 87. Yeah. So instead of panning for, it didn't pan for 10 seconds. Oh, it was a delay. Okay, so we're just going to move. So let's do a, well, that would be a 5,000 second delay. Well, then we're going to go to, on transition in, we'll do a PTZ zoom in. Now at this point we won't, no, we don't want to do zoom in. We want to, we can't switch to another, can't switch to, well, all right, I'm hung up. I am hung up. I'm gonna have to go back and study scripts, as Michael said. And we'll get a script to do it. That's what I say. Doggone it. Thought I had it, but we're getting close. Once we get the movement down, then we can translate it into a script. It's just the script has to be able to tell it what to do, and we have to know what it needs to do. And we can use shortcuts and triggers temporarily to set it up, but then the script would move it through and would tell the camera to move, would tell it to go from input A to input B on a 10-second merge. I bet we can do that. I bet we could do that. All right, not today though, not today. Let's go to post show. Can we go to the post show? Please, can we go to the post show? Please, can we go to the post show? Let's go to the post show. All right, so we're in the post show. Activate a trigger. That's what I want to do. Oh, gosh. All right, Japs. Now you got to, where did I go? Where did I go? I'm off the screen. My shot is not where I want it to be. No wonder that's the wrong shot. Let's pick that shot. Bear with me 1 second. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. I'm happier now. So, Japs, I want to hear how you do this. Are you using a script? Are you using triggers? Are you using shortcuts? Are you using keyboards? I bet you could set it up to do, well, it would just be shortcuts because you would use keys on the keyboard to tell it to do things. Well, excuse me, I controlled PTZ actions at the church for years with the left and right, up and down cursor keys, and then the space bar as a stop pan, a stop zoom, and a stop tilt. All right, Jap says shortcuts. I like it. I like it. Yeah, we set up a set of shortcuts. The left and right, up and down cursor buttons were pan and tilt on the camera. And then page up and page down were zoom in, zoom out. And then the space bar was stop zoom, stop pan, stop tilt. And you could do multi-functions simultaneously. So you could do a left pan and a zoom in at the same time, and that looked pretty good. And it was kind of a movement in, and it was really smooth, and hitting the space bar for the stop, it stopped smoothly. And that was on a G2 PTZ optics camera, not the latest ones they have. Let's see. Michael says, on a laptop with tiny screen running vMix, tried to use a web browser input to show YouTube video. 5 seconds into video, it stopped with an error. I couldn't read. Anyone experienced something similar? Different setup. I mean, different idea. I haven't experienced that. Without knowing the error, but it was a web browser input to show a YouTube video. Huh. Michael, I can't help you on that one. Interesting. Interesting. I'm trying to wrap my head around it, but I don't see anything. Nothing pops to the top of my head, shall we say. Nothing pops to the top of my head. All right. Well, here we go. This is Japs. I meet the go-kart zoomed in, zooming out, turning right to follow the car and zooming in again. Yeah, the issue that I ran into is, and I can illustrate with this right here, is when I zoom in, and let's just zoom in. Let me move this over so I can see the screen that you guys are seeing. As I zoom in, well, in this case it zooms in okay, but it may be that, you know, if I'm off center, it's, well, I guess you just have to play with those things. So you're getting just a zoom. You're not getting a movement. Because I think what I did earlier was, in addition, let's go out like this, and I want to zoom in, but I want to, you know, pan or tilt or do something. Yeah, something like that. So those two movements wouldn't work because I would have to, there we go. Well, let me play with this some more. I like Jap's, what I would call a quick solution. But it's not, the premise of this was to teach or record the camera movement so that the camera could follow that set of movements all the time. And I get what you're doing, and it's very interactive. And it's what I used to do at the church, and I loved it. In fact, I want to take a second and just set that up so I can show you guys how good that can work. Let's see, let's just go down here, and we're going to add the space bar again, and it's going to be a PTZ zoom stop, and that's going to be on number 27, and we're going to add another one, and it's going to be the space bar, and that's going to be a PTZ, and that's got a move stop, and I guess that's all you need. Oh, and a focus stop. Yeah. No, I don't want a focus stop because I want to do autofocus. So let's do a move. We've got to move left, and then we have a zoom stop. So let's do a zoom in, and that's going to be the page up button, and that's going to be number 27. And then we're going to add page down is going to PTZ zoom out on number 27. And let's do up. Add. Up is going to be the up cursor. Function PTZ move up on 27. And we'll make a down. Function is PTZ, move up, move right, move down on 27. And add, fine, let's go left. Function is PTZ, move left. You get the hang of it. It's kind of repetitive, but once you've got it, you've got it. And then we'll do a move right. PTZ move right. Yep, is that right? And then on 27, do we have an up? We've got to move up, we've got to move down, we've got a left and a right, we've got to zoom in and out. All right, let's see if this works. So let's zoom out. There we go, and we'll space bar. Let's try that one again. Let me get on the camera. This is the camera right here. There we go. That's the camera. So we're going to zoom in. Oops, zoom in. Spacebar, stop it. We need to slow the speed down a little bit. We've got a space set up for something else. That's why that keeps dropping on there. Edit, find, space. Move stop, zoom stop. Oh, space is set up for a cut. There we go. Let's get that one out of there. Okay. So we'll come back to this one. And we will zoom in, zoom out. And we can slow that down. We can move left. Whoa, that's way too fast. We move right. In fact, I'll show you how we do that. Let's go to shortcuts. Let's look at our left. And the left is going to have a value, which is our speed, of 0.5. Let's try that. Left, 0.5. That's still pretty fast. Let's go back. Find left. And let's go to 0.1. Left. That's better. That's better. We'll stop and go right. Yeah, right's too fast. So let's go left again. We'll change right to 0.1. Okay, and while we do that, we can change the zoom, slow the zoom speed down too. Find page down, which is zoom out. We'll change that to 0.1. So we're going to zoom out and left and stop. There you go. Yeah, image behind me is moving as well. It was not a good example to use it like that. If you had an Elgato with knobs, could you use the knobs for smoothing PTZ? Maybe. Maybe. Speed. I don't know. I don't know. The solution to do record it the same way if you want to do it. I'm on the other machine at the time trying to find the right preset. All right, well, let's hear back from Japs. Here we go. Let's go back here. And that's that right there. The solution I do is recorded the same way you are wanting to do it. I'm on the other machine at the same time, now trying to find the right preset. Got you. Got you. That's because, Tim, that's because I'm an idiot. It's the easy way to show it right there. I'm an idiot. Let's go here. Can we do that? There we go. Sort of. I think it might take a series of shortcuts to do that. And the knobs, let's go here. I mean, remember with shortcuts that when you're looking for a shortcut, let's find, and in this case, we're just going to find the enter key. Oh, that didn't work. Let's add the enter key. Let's find, we can't do the enter key. Okay, well, let's just do the number 1 button, D1. And with a keyboard, and I'm sure the Elgato is the same way, you get a series of MIDI notes. Now, this is not a keyboard in the sense that this is a MIDI controller. So you would have different notes, and that's how the T-bar is able to go and move something is according to notes. Whether the notes could be set up to, let's go function here, PTZ, and pick one of those. Whether the notes could be set up like values, I don't know. I don't know. Yep. But I do like the ability to make those kind of changes with the keyboard. Well, just get here whenever you can. Whenever you can. I do have a motherboard and CPU. Thank you for reminding me. Let me see what I can do about that. I can see what I can do about that. All right, we have Japs just another second because I have a project I need to move on to. We have rolled a dozen PCs out of here in the last week and a half. It's good to do that. Oh, excuse me. But I am setting up a test, if I can find some time, going back to the Obtanium system. I've got a workstation motherboard. It's a Asus. I've got a Xeon processor. I've got a 4080 Super. I just need to get some RAM. Okay, that's a promise. Yeah, that's what I was just talking about, Michael. It was to be able to test that some more. And I have kind of come up with some more information, which is why didn't vMix do it differently? And the reason they used the Gigabyte card and or any other workstation card is because of the lanes. And that's why they used the Xeon processor, was because of the number of lanes that it gave you and the ability to have, 16 lanes on multiple PCIe slots so that you can get multiple cameras. So it was all sort of server stuff. It was a workstation board, a workstation CPU and workstation RAM, and then a gamer graphics card. Now they make a graphics card with the similar specs to the 4080 Super in a workstation version, but it's $8,000 US. That's why vMix didn't spec it. I mean, that has been my question all the time. If you're going to go with all these workstation parts, why not a workstation GPU? And that's why, because of the cost. And the 4080 Super provides over 10,000 CUDA cores. And I think that's sort of the magic number of the magic spec for vMix. And that's why they didn't use the workstation version. Yes, I know that's Anderson from Barbados. So the testing I want to set up with this Asus motherboard, and I've already done it once kind of halfway, but I want to dig into it a little deeper. I stole one of the RAM sticks from one of the systems I was building and used it to do a test and see if I could run 25H2, and it bombed out if the NVIDIA driver was installed. And so I want to go back and play around a little bit and see if maybe I can't install an NVIDIA workstation driver and have that work. I don't know. Don't know if it can even be done. Don't know if we're dealing with apples and oranges in that case. But if I could get a workstation driver and it would work on the 4080 Super, maybe our compatibility problems would go away. I'm thinking that route. I even tried using a Windows 11 for workstations install. I didn't buy the license or anything and activate it. I just wanted to install it, and I got the full install, but it bombed out too. It just doesn't like the NVIDIA driver. Now it'll take the card without the driver, using a Windows driver, a generic, graphics card driver, and the resolution's good, but vMix wouldn't have access to what it needed in the card if it didn't have the NVIDIA driver to give it access. So we'll see. But if a driver change is the ticket, then we're back in business. We'll find out. Maybe we'll do that next week. Why were you saving that? No, I haven't. LTSC, I don't know what LTSC is. You tried Windows 10 Enterprise. I haven't tried any. I haven't. Well, Windows 10 works perfectly. Windows 10 works perfectly, I think. But Windows 11 is where we had the problems. I'll have to go back and double check that. I haven't tried Windows 10 to see if that worked. I take that back. But that's interesting to try Windows 10. But it would be also interested to try one of the enterprise versions. I love it. I love the idea. I love the idea of something that records the joystick movement. Yeah, and that's essentially what we were trying to duplicate here, without spending $1,800 US. Yeah. So it may take a little extra horsepower on this end. Yep. All right. Well, I love hanging out with you guys as always, but I got to get back to work. I will leave you be with an ending show, and where is it? Right here. Yeah. Catch you guys. Be safe.
Well, it's the end of the show, the lights are down low. We've had some laughs and now it's time to go. Streaming idiots, delight on display. Hope you enjoyed it. We had fun today. From the very first laugh to the final goodbye, we shared our moments, oh my, oh my. So thank you, it's been a blast. We'll keep the fun rolling, this won't be our last. See you next week, set your reminders. More craziness coming, we're joyful finders. Each week we gather with jokes and smiles, from techie mishaps to quirky styles. Every stream is magic, a little surprise. More than just a show, it's all about the ties. We're a family here, part of your feed, chasing the giggles, fulfilling the needs. So thank you, it's been a blast. We'll keep the fun rolling, this won't be our last. See you next week, set your reminders. More craziness coming, we're joyful finders. So grab your popcorn and settle right in. With laughs on the screen, let the fun begin. From the couch or your bed, wherever you be, join us next time, come laugh with glee. We love your comments, your hearts and your cheers. Together we make memories that last through the years. So we wave goodbye, but don't shed a tear. We'll be back next week to bring you more cheer. In this digital age, we're all on a roll. Streaming idiots, it's more than a stroll. Just hit that like and don't you forget. Keep spreading the joy, the fun's not done yet. So thank you, it's been a blast. We'll keep the fun rolling, this won't be our last. See you next week, set your reminders. More craziness coming, we're joyful finders. So here's to the laughter, the joy that we share. With every single moment, we'll always be there. As the curtains close and the credits roll. Thanks, guys, for being part of our soul.